Hello, we are part of Beyond the Plate. Let's take a look at this photo. Do you recognize this popular dish? Perhaps you've tried it at your local restaurant. This dish is called clam chowder. It is a famous New England dish, also known as clam with broth. It is made from New England style clams mixed with a creamy milk and potato combination infused with bacon and garlic. Before getting into how to cook the dish, let's first learn about the background. Take a look at this map of New England. Clam chowder originates from the Newer England region. In most restaurants, like those in the US and Canada, two terms are used interchangeably: New England style clam chowder and Manhattan style clam chowder. However, the terms are actually quite different. New England style clam chowder, the traditional form from New England, is cream based. Manhattan style clam chowder, on the other hand, is tomato based. It contains fewer starchy foods such as potatoes. The use of different bases can have an impact on the texture of the chowder, which is a thick soup of the clam chowder. The serving temperature of clam chowder, like most chowders, is hot. It is recommended that the dish is served hot for the optimal taste and flavor of the individual bases. Now, let's talk about the two main ingredients of the dish. First is clam, which is a common name for mollusks. They're an animal that has been fished for several thousands of years. The second most main ingredient is the heavy cream, which is a cream created by milk and vegetable stock. We can tell that these two ingredients are crucial as the name of the dish stems from these two ingredients. Now Roshan will talk about the science of clam chowder.
With any form of pork, the key is to go low and slow so that the fat renders out completely without letting the pork burn. That gives you a great base in which to sweet your vegetables from the pork fat. Well, a chowder, and an all non-fat dairy, for that matter, is what we call an emulsion. It's a stable mixture of two things that generally don't like to mix very well. In this case, water and fat derived both from the milk or cream and from the pork. As a general rule, fat molecules like to stick together, while water molecules like to push them as far away as possible. In order to get a smooth, creamy chowder, you need to figure out a way to get them to play nicely together and integrate. When you pour your milk out of the carton, it comes out as a homogeneous, creamy mixture. This is because it has gone through a process called homogenization, in which the milk is forced at a high pressure through a superfine mesh. This breaks the fat into ultra tiny droplets, each one which gets completely surrounded by water molecules, preventing them from rejoining.
Now we'll be going into the cooking portion of this video. Starting off with the ingredients. You will need 4 slices of bacon, 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 cloves of garlic, 1 onion, half a teaspoon of dried thyme, 3 tablespoons of flour, 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of vegetable stock, 2 cans of chopped clams, 1 bay leaf, 2 potatoes, peeled and diced, 1 cup of half and half, some salt, and 2 tablespoons of freshly chopped parsley leaves, which are mainly for presentation, which is why we didn't include them in this video. Next, you want to take your 2 cloves of garlic and peel them and crush them so that they're ready to be further used. Now you want to take your 2 potatoes and dice them into small cubes. This will allow the potatoes to cook faster. Once you're done dicing your potatoes, you also want to take your raw bacon and dice that as well. Then take your diced bacon and put it in a pot to let it cook. And don't forget to turn on the fan while cooking. While the bacon is cooking, go ahead and prepare 2 tablespoons of butter. Also, don't forget to occasionally stir your bacon so that it's evenly cooked. To prepare your clams, you want to drain them using a strainer, but be sure to keep the clam juice. Go ahead and also start boiling at least a cup of water. You'll need this later. Prepare half a teaspoon of thyme. Once the bacon looks like it's browning, you can take it out. It's optional to get a tablespoon of bacon oil and add it to the clam chowder soup, but if it's too much of a hassle, you don't need to do it. With the pot now empty, go ahead and add the butter, and once the butter has melted, add the onions afterwards. After a little while of cooking, add the flour into the onions. Take the thyme spice and add it to the pot soon after adding the flour. Start mixing it with the onions, and then add the boiled water from before to the pot. Also add vegetable stock, clam juice, and milk. This will start making the chowder. Keep stirring the chowder, then add potatoes and carrots. Carrots weren't originally in the recipe, but we decided to add them for fun. Now this part is optional, but we took our clams and diced them into smaller pieces. Once the chowder in the pot is boiling, reduce the heat and add the top to let it cook for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, taste the chowder to see if it's cooked. If it needs some more time to cook, go ahead and give it more time. Once you think everything has cooked, add the half and half cream, clams, stir a bit, and then add the pepper and salt. Take the clam chowder out of the pot and into a certain amount of bowls. The amount of bowls depends on how many servings you want to serve. We saw that with this recipe, you can serve from 4 to an upwards of 8 people. Once you have the bowls ready, take the bacon that you cooked at the very beginning and sprinkle some of it on top. Also, sprinkle some seasoning according to your desires. And then you're done. You'll have some clam chowder that looks nice and also tastes nice. It is a very fun cooking experience, especially with my friends. And you should definitely cook it too. Thank you for watching. This video wouldn't have been possible if it weren't for the team consisting of me, Roshan, and Michael all pulling through for our individual parts. Again, thanks for watching, and we hope you enjoyed this video.